Want to say shalom to the family. Peace and blessings to everybody, wherever you are, that's tuning into our live stream today. You know, as usual, we come before the people just to give our people information, you know, scriptural information, historical information, and an abundance of other pieces of information that can better your life. This truth is about bettering the quality of your life while we're in this captivity. That's what this truth consists of. It's about bettering your life and bettering yourself. If you are a part of something that does not better you as a man or as a woman, then you're in the wrong thing. If you're a part of something that doesn't make you more educated, that you're not constantly learning at all times from, you're in the wrong thing. You really need to examine yourself, because that's what the Bible does. And this knowledge of the Most High, this infinite wisdom, inexplicable wisdom that the Most High has provided, makes us better people. Okay, so we come before our people as often as we can, you know, to teach this word and, you know, to give you information that's, you know, vital and life-changing. That's what it's about. Okay, so today what we're going to deal with, we're going to deal a little bit with health. I know I've been talking about health a lot, probably to some people ad nauseum. I know, I get it all the time, that everybody wants me to go into deep historical breakdowns and history and science and things of that nature, and all that stuff has its place. And I do have lessons and PowerPoints that are coming that are going to be dealing with all those various topics because they are necessary. But it's the basic things. It's the milk of the scriptures. The basic and simple principles of life that our people need more because we're destroyed. So as a people, we're starting from scratch. You know, Christ said in the New Testament that we're like babes, and it's true. And that's in every aspect of life. That's the level that we as Israelites are on. We act like children. You see it on social media. Everywhere you look, up and down your timeline. You go on Instagram, you go on Snapchat, you go on Twitter, you go on Facebook, you go on YouTube, and all you see is our people just acting like a bunch of overgrown children. Mindless zombies, the walking dead. That's Israel. All right. And some of our people, they come into this truth, they come into the knowledge of being Israel, but they still have that old man, that old leaven. It's like you are not, you know, you Israel, but you're still in the world. Okay, so that's pretty much what you have going on. So tonight's lesson is going to be dealing with something that I've been talking about a lot, and I'm going to continue to talk about, and that's health. I could not tell you how many people flood my inbox asking me for help as far as health is concerned. I couldn't tell you. It seems to me as Black people that we don't get serious about our health until we get sick. By the way, brothers and sisters, anybody that's within the sound of my voice, if you'd be so kind as to hit the like button, and also make sure that you take the link at the top of the address bar and share the video on social media and let them know that we're live. We're live, okay? The amount of people that hit me up about health and health-related issues is overwhelming. And like I said before, a lot of times we as Black people, when I say Black people, I'm talking about so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we don't get serious about our health until we get sick. I could say I'm guilty of that too. Many, many years ago, I'm not talking about my recent health crisis like in 2014. I'm not talking about that. But many, many years ago, it took me getting really, really sick for me to get serious about my health, because I was raised here in America. I had the bad diet. I was eating McDonald's and Burger King and all the bad foods like on a constant daily basis. That's all I wanted to eat was foods that taste good. I was eating for taste. And I got really sick when I was young, in my 20s. And it wasn't until then that I got really serious about my health. I had to re-examine what I had been taught. That whole food pyramid thing that they teach you in school, that whole food pyramid, you know, you have to have, they say you have to have some carbs, you have to have some starches, You have to have some meat, and you have to have some vegetables every meal. Your body breaks down like that. The body wasn't created to have meat 3 times a day. It wasn't. The body wasn't created for you to have bread and pasta and rice and all those things 3 times a day. It wasn't. Okay? Your cells need to be floating in water. So you need to have a lot of foods that are high in water. You need to be drinking a lot of water, doing a lot of juicing. Now, this time of the year, this is the best time to do that because your appetite is less. When it gets hot, you want to drink more than anything. So really and truly, this is a great time to lose weight. You know, if you don't want to go to the gym, if you're not into the gym, whole gym thing, you can just, you know, cut down on eating 3 times a day. Give your organs a rest so that they're not constantly working. Our organs are constantly working. That's why we age the way we do. That's why we get sick the way we do. That's why we die so young. Your organs are constantly working. From the time you get up in the morning, you have a big behind breakfast, a big behind lunch, a big behind dinner, and a whole bunch of snacks in between. When do your organs rest? And how can your body digest and eliminate what needs to be eliminated with that much food in your system? So this is a great time of year for brothers and sisters like to go on a diet, to really sit back and really examine your diet and eat more plant-based foods, more green foods, and, you know, juice more, so forth and so on, and try to eat once a day if possible. When I say once a day, I mean like if you're going to have carbs, if you're going to have meat, if you're going to do that once a day. And for the rest of the day, have some fruits and some smoothies and, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. Your body needs a chance to rest. Your organs need a chance to rest. And what happens is a lot of times you wake up in the morning, you done had 8 hours of sleep and you're wondering why you're tired because your organs been working all night while you're sleeping. Because you never give your organs a chance to rest. And after a while, they start shutting down on you and they betray you. Anyway, I didn't come on here to rant tonight. You know, I that has its place, and I do that sometimes.
Hey, Elder, can I say something on that though?
Yeah, go ahead, Captain.
But, you did bring out a good point, man. I do want to chime in and say, a lot of people, they say, well, I only do eat once a day, right? But now, when they do eat once a day, they're eating the things that's not beneficial to their body. So they might say, well, I woke up, just ate some ice cream, you know, so I was good with that. I didn't eat the rest of the day. But what is that ice cream doing to your body? So when people talk about health and talk about you know, a better physical aspect in themselves, we can't really talk about just eating 1 meal a day, because a lot of people believe that. You know, a lot of people believe it's just 1 meal a day. But what are you eating that 1 meal a day though? You know, so it's important to point out that, you know, a lot of people, they just, even though you're eating 1 meal a day, it's important what you're eating. Because if you're not, for example, if a man is eating, let's say, greens or vegetables or smoothies in the morning, and that's his once a day meal, then you're benefiting the body. So it's all about benefiting the body, you know what I'm saying? So whatever you eat, whether it's once a day, twice a day, what you eat is beneficial and crucial to, you know, your health, to your nutritional values. So make sure when you do eat that the food has nutrition, okay? Because you don't get all nutrition in one food neither. You know what I'm saying? One food or two foods or whatever. You don't get it in just lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and all that, right? So what you want to do is you want to mix what you have, like, for example, herbs, you know what I'm saying, vegetables, things of that matter. You want to eat that if you do eat once a day, to make sure that whatever you eat is beneficial to your body. So that's what I wanted to bring out on that. So
kind of all praises. Let me share my screen and let's go to the scriptures. Right, we're gonna read from the scriptures. If you have a Bible at home, I would ask you, brothers and sisters, if you have a Bible at home, to make sure you get your Bible, okay, and read along with us. Right, so we're gonna start off in the Apocrypha, in the book of Serac, chapter 38. We're gonna go to Serac, chapter 38. That's where we're starting. All right. And we're going to work our way down in this chapter, because there's a lot of good things in this chapter. And I'm going to show brothers and sisters something. I have another lesson I'm going to be doing in the future, but I'm just going to show brothers and sisters something because I was reading this today. And like I said before, in the last 2 weeks, I got word that 3 people I know have cancer. 3. A close friend of the family and 2 co-workers that have cancer. All right. So that thing is ravaging our community. It's killing us off. All right. So we need to know exactly what it is and how we can remedy it. Now watch this. Let's go and let's see what the scriptures say. Again, if you have your Apocrypha or your Bible, you should be reading along with us. This is the book of Serac, chapter 38. Start from verse 1. It says, honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which ye may have of him. For the Lord hath created him. Now, verse 1 is very, very important to me because I constantly say this, man. When you ask an Israelite, what's your religion? What do Israelites say? I don't have a religion. I ain't religious. Israel is my nationality. But the truth is, most Israelites, you're religious. You're waiting for the Most High to stretch a long black arm from among the clouds with a magic wand in his hand and come down and wave the magic wand over you and you're going to get better. That's not the way it works. That's why the Most High said at the end of this verse, for the Lord hath created him. The Most High created the physician. So if the Most High gives the physician wisdom to recommend, to prescribe certain herbs and certain things for you and you get better, that is the same as the Most High healing you. Because every man and every woman have a gift or a craft. And the Most High blesses certain people with the wisdom of the things that he created in the earth that you could take to make yourself whole again when you're not whole, when you're sick. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of our people, they run to church on Sunday and have Pastor Pork Chop laying hands on them, which is nothing wrong with laying hands. It speaks about that in the New Testament. It speaks about that. And praying and doing these things, it speaks about that. But that's not supposed to be you live a daggone unhealthy life. You don't care about anything. Oh, it's not unlawful for me to eat Twinkies and ho-hos and all. It's not unlawful. So you just eat it every day, 2-3 times a day. And then when you get sick, you go and ask pastor to pray for you. That's not what that was created for. So the Most High said he created the physician. So you should honor the physician. It's a very, very important occupation within our nation was the physician. It's very, very important. And the Most High is working through the physician. You see what I'm saying? Okay, let's read on. Verse 2. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. So through the physician, the Most High causes people to be healed, right? And the physician will receive honor of the king. You see what I'm saying? Let's read on. Verse 3. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. Verse 4. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. That is such a key verse in this whole chapter. You know, I talk all the time with my wife, and we talk about the difference between eating for taste and eating for health. The majority of our people, let's be real, we eat for taste. That's what we eat for. You're looking for something that tastes good too. Right now, you want something sweet. So you get some candy. You get a Hershey's chocolate bar. You know what I'm saying? You might go get some M&Ms, or you might go get some cupcakes or some cake or some cookies or Oreos or whatever like that. You eat for taste because you got a sugar craving. Then later on, you have a salt craving. So you're going to have some potato chips or something else. You see what I'm saying? So we eat for taste. You have a craving, you satisfy your craving. So what happens when you start telling people, when somebody gets sick, you start telling them, listen, you got to take some herbs, man. What's the first thing they ask you? Well, I don't like taking that because how does it taste? Is it bitter? Is it nasty? That's the first thing that they say. And if you're honest with them and say to them, yes, it's bitter, what do they say? I don't want to take that. That's what they say. Or they'll ask you, is the herb going to send you to the bathroom? And if you say yes, what do they say? I don't want to take that. The Most High said at the end of verse 4, he that is wise will not abhor them. The majority of our people are not wise. When you start telling them about different herbs and remedies that they need to take, they abhor them. They don't want to do it. They don't want to give up McDonald's and Burger King and KFC and Popeyes. They don't want to give up fast food. They don't want to give up canned food. They don't want to cook their food with fresh herbs from the store. They want to go buy Lori's seasonings. That's going to end up giving them high blood pressure and things of that nature. Things that grow from the ground, they despise that. They despise that. Our people won't even eat fruits with seeds in them. Some of our people won't eat fruit at all. They'll eat a daggone can of Del Monte fruit cocktail or pop open a daggone can of Del Monte string beans or something like that, sitting in all that cancer water, because that's what it is, them preservatives. They'll eat that. They don't even know what the hell is in that daggone preservative. They don't even know, they don't research nothing. But when you tell somebody, this is a herb, this is where it's from, this is what it does, they abhor it. They abhor it, you see? So let's read on. Let's read on. All right, verse number 5. Matter of fact, let's hold that real quick and let's go to the book of Genesis real quick. We're gonna go to Genesis chapter 1, and let's go to verse 29. We're gonna stick with Serac, but I wanted to go to Genesis 1 and 29. And let's see what that says. So let's go back to Serac real quick, right here, verse 4. It says, the Lord have created medicines out the earth. He that is wise will not abhor them. When you go to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 29, this is what it says. It says, and the Most High Power said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of the tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. So the Most High in the beginning gave us these things. He gave it to Adam, and it was passed down through generation from Adam all the way through his posterity, all the way down. And as the Most High increased people on the earth, the Most High had certain people that specialized in that area. They understood what each herb, each tree, each leaf, what they do, because there's millions of them. If you ever go to an herbal store, they have hundreds, thousands of herbs there. I don't know what half them things do. I don't know the clinical name of half of those things, but the Most High has certain people like Brother Patrick Delves and others that he gave that gift to. You see? And a lot of people abhor that stuff. They wait until they get sick. When you take herbs is a lifestyle, man. Herbs is for prevention. All right? Yo, Captain McGunn, you want to jump in and say something real quick?
Yeah, I'll just say that prevention is better than cure, right? As we always bring out. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we're making sure that we're eating right. And not only eating right, but you have to add the herbs, man. You have to add the herbs, because the herbs, they go and perform certain duties in the body. So if you have herbs for the heart, like if you have a heart condition, get herbs for the heart. If you have a lung condition, get herbs for the lungs. At the same time, you can also get all these herbs and combine it together. When you do boil it for tea, you combine it together and drink all of them, right? You mix it up, because now you're getting the best of all worlds, right? So now you want to, again, like the others bringing out, man, herbs is important. It's important you add herbs to your diet. It's important you drink it at least 3 times a day. 3 times a day for a couple of months with a good diet, vegetables and fruits and all that, you'll be all right. So it's on you, Elder.
Khan. So we're in Serac chapter 38. We just read verse 4. So let's continue, right? Let's continue. So we're going to go down to verse 5. It says, was not the water made sweet with wood, that the virtue thereof might be known? And he hath given men skill, that he might be honored in his marvelous work. So the Most High gives certain people certain skills. You got some people, their skill is to be construction and masonry. That's the gift the Most High gives them. You know what I'm saying? Where they're able to build things. You have people that didn't even go to school. They just saw somebody doing something, they're able to do it. The Most High gives certain people the skill of oration, to be able to speak. The Most High gives certain people the skill of writing. They're great writers, so forth and so on. And the Most High gave certain brothers the skill of understanding the herbs and the seeds and what to do. Because there's a science to this thing. It's not about just knowing what herbs are and their names and what they do, but sometimes you have to make what they call herbal blends and mix herbs together. That's a skill, because you mix the wrong herbs together, you can mess somebody up. All right. So that's a skill in and of itself. All right. So let's read on verse 7. With such doth he heal men and take away their pains. Of such doth the apothecary make a confection, and his works there, and of his works there is no end, and from him is peace all over the earth. Now the question I have for Israel is this: how many Israelites know what an apothecary is? How many brothers and sisters know what an apothecary is? When we see words in the scriptures, we can't just read past them, because the apothecary was a great skill in Israel. That was a trade in Israel. Verse 8 again: of such doth the apothecary make a confection, and of his works there is no end, and from him is peace all over the earth. So now let's see what an apothecary is. And I'm going to give Israel some examples real quick, right? So when you come to look it up in dictionary.com, it's the basic definition, right? An apothecary is a person who prepared and sold medicines and drugs. So in this day and time, we would call an apothecary somebody that's an herbalist, would fall under the umbrella of being an apothecary in ancient times. It's an ancient word. In addition, you had several branches underneath the apothecary. One of the branches under the apothecary was, you had the branch of the apothecary that dealt with the actual roots and plants and herbs. And you had another apothecary that dealt with the oils, the certain extracts that you take out of the plants and make oils and perfumes and sweet savors, so forth and so on. You had a certain branch of the apothecaries that did that. And what would happen in ancient times is that you would have, basically, when somebody had an ailment, what would happen is you would have stuff that they would take internally as far as herbs are concerned, and they also had certain things they would put on their body. So the apothecary that dealt with like the herbs and the plants would come up with something, and the apothecary that dealt with the oils would also come up with something. Let me show y'all that real quick, right? Let's go to, really quickly, we're not going to stay long on this. I'm going to show you something and give y'all some examples really quickly. So I'm going to go to Leviticus 14. I'm going to read a couple of verses. Leviticus 14. I'm going to read a couple of verses. And then I'm going to switch over to Numbers. All right. Watch this. So this is Leviticus chapter 14, verse 1. It says, and the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, this shall be the law of the leper in the day of his cleansing. So this chapter is about leprosy. Very important. That's something that our people go through today. It's called bigalido, right? He shall be brought unto the priest, verse 3. And the priest shall go forth out the camp, and the priest shall look, and behold, if the plague of leprosy be healed in the leper. And then shall the priest command to take him that is to be cleansed 2 birds, alive and clean, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop. So right here, I want to focus on this right here. Cedar wood, scarlet, and hyssop. What is cedar wood? Cedar wood is an oil. So in addition, so somebody that had leprosy, right? In addition to them taking whatever herbs that the apothecary or the herbalist would tell them to take, there were certain oils that had to be bought and put on them too. Y'all think these oils in the scriptures for nothing? These oils are here for a reason. So when you look up cedar wood, right? Cedar wood is an oil that's used to basically, what it does is it basically is used for cleaning leprosy. So if you had leprosy, they brought forth cedar wood. That's a skill. Somebody has to know that. Also, hyssop was another oil or extract that was used when somebody had leprosy. Hyssop is like antibacterial, antifungal, anti-larvicidal, etc., etc. So they would bring hyssop and they would bring cedarwood oil. Somebody had to know that. In addition to plants, this, that, and the third, somebody had to know about the oils. That's where the word apothecary comes from. So when somebody tells you there's no science in the Bible, they don't know what they're talking about. These oils, cedarwood is not a random thing that the priests used. There was a reason why cedar wood was used. There was some type of medicinal property within the cedar wood why the Most High said use it. That's science. There was something in the hyssop that the Most High knew was in there while the priest would bring it. And the priest wouldn't just do the law, just knew the law. So you had to have apothecary. Everybody in Israel worked together. That's the body. That's the body. You see what I'm saying? So we need to come back to these things. Okay. Now from there, let's go to I want to say this too really quickly, right? What separates Israel from the other nations is that when we use, I'm going to use just cedar wood as an example, right? I'm going to give y'all some examples. Now, because the cedar wood tree has certain medicinal properties, unlike Esau, we didn't just cut down the cedar wood and take the extract out there and leave the damn tree laying there. When we cut something down, and the Native Americans did this too. When we cut something down, we didn't waste any of the tree, any of it. We used every portion of the tree for something. All right. We use some of it for medicine. One tree could have many properties. For instance, you could use one tree to get medicine out of it. The same tree can be used to get embalming fluid out of it. The same tree could be used for perfume. The same tree could be used to build something. The same tree could be used for currency. The same tree could be used for anointing. The same tree could be used for trading. So we didn't waste nothing. I want y'all to understand that. So I showed y'all that cedar wood was a oil that the apothecaries would use when somebody suffered from the condition of leprosy, and also hyssop, right? Let's go to Ezra, the 3rd chapter. Let's go to the book of Ezra, the 3rd chapter. Let me give y'all an example of what I'm talking about, that we didn't waste the tree. Watch this. Ezra chapter 3. I'm going to start from verse 1. And we're going to go right down to the point that I want. Let's see. Where is it now? Okay. Point I want is in verse 7, but I'll read down. I'll read down a little bit. So this is Ezra chapter 3, verse 1. And when the 7th month was come, and the children of Israel were in the cities, the people gathered themselves together as one man to Jerusalem. Then stood up Jeshua, the son of Zadok, and his brethren, the priest, and Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and his brethren, and builded the altar of the God of Israel to offer burnt offerings thereon, as it is written in the law of Moses, the man of God. I want to say something, and this is random, right? Y'all see how the Most High used Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel is a direct descendant of King David and King Solomon. When it was time for Israel to rebuild the temple, the Most High chose somebody out of the line of David and Solomon. So that doctrine out there about how the Most High cursed the line of David and Solomon through Coniah is a lie, because the Most High used Zerubbabel. He could have used anybody. Why would he use somebody from a line that people say is cursed? Because y'all don't know the scriptures. But we're not talking about that today. Verse number 3. And they set the altar upon its bases, for fear was upon them because of the people of those countries, and they offered burnt offerings therefore unto the Lord, even burnt offerings morning and even. They kept also the Feast of Tabernacles as it is written, and offered the daily burnt offerings by number according to the custom, as the duty of every day required. And afterwards offered the continual burnt offering, both of the new moons and of all the set feasts of the Lord that were consecrated, and every one that willingly offered a free will offering unto the Lord. From the first day of the 7th month began they to offer burnt offerings unto the Lord, but the foundation of the temple of the Lord was not yet built. Here comes the point that I wanted, right? Verse 7. They gave money also unto the masons. Who are the masons? The masons were the guy, not these dudes with the daggone square and compass, not them clowns. The masons were the people that were building the temple. And they gave also unto the masons and to the carpenters, and meat and drink and oil unto them of Zidon and to them of Tyre, to bring cedar trees from Lebanon to the sea of Joppa, according to the grant that they had of Cyrus, the king of Persia. So when they were paying these masons, all these different things you see were forms of payment: meat, drink, oil, cedar trees, all that stuff. See, because the cedar tree had a lot of properties to it. So that these masons, it was valuable back then. So we didn't waste anything. I just wanted to show y'all that, right? Let's see. Also, when you read That's enough of that. That's enough of that right now. Let's see. When you read, I'm just going to tell you, when you read Exodus, the 12th chapter, Leviticus 14, which we already read, Numbers, the 19th chapter, Psalms 51, Hebrews 9, hyssop, the hyssop tree is the same thing. Same thing. Okay? When you read about myrrh, you hear about frankincense and myrrh. Myrrh had about 10 different commodities in the Bible. I'm just going to run them down to y'all. Y'all can look it up. Watch this video again. I know I'm just giving y'all a lot of information. I'm going to do a video on this. Myrrh was used as a commodity when you read Genesis 37. Myrrh was used as an anointing oil when you read Exodus 30. Now check that out. Because in one instance, we used cedar oil when somebody had leprosy. In another instance, we used myrrh. So we didn't always anoint people with the same oils. It really depended on the situation. That's a whole nother show, right? Myrrh can be used as an ointment when you read Songs of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 5. Instead of going out and buying ointments from Dago and Dwayne Reed or whatever, or CVS or Rite Aid, myrrh can be used and made into an ointment. Myrrh is a perfume. Myrrh is incense. We all know that. Myrrh is also edible in its natural form when you read Songs of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. When you read Matthew, the 2nd chapter and 11th verse, myrrh is also a gift that was given to Yahweh Shai because it had a lot of value. When you read the book of Mark, the 5th chapter, myrrh can be mixed with wine and drunk as strong drink. And myrrh is also something that could be used to bury somebody. Yahweh Shai was embalmed with that. All right? Because again, it has a lot of, when it's mixed with frankincense, that's a mixture. And the apothecaries knew that. You think somebody just randomly figured out frankincense and myrrh go together? No, that's an ancient mixture that the apothecaries knew. It all was dealing with health and spirituality and offering and atonement and commodities, etc. So all this is in the Bible, but people will tell you there's no science in the Bible. Who told them that? Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's see here. Where was I? Cap McGunn, you wanted to jump in real quick? He might not be there. McGunn, you wanted to? Yeah, go ahead, Lord.
Nah, I'm here. Yeah, I'll say this basically, you know, just like our ancestors knew what was healthy, what was not healthy, what was good, what was not good. So they had a connection with the Most High, you know, just being healthy and using healthy things, things of nature that the Most High instructed us to do, right? He commanded us to use these things. Why? Because the Most High created them, period. So the Most High lets you know, he gives you a reason why he wants you to use these things, because they're natural. That's what he created nature to do, to cure our bodies, to you know, have a connection with the Most High physically, you know what I'm saying, also spiritually, but we also have to have a connection with him physically, because if our body's not healthy, how can our spirit be, you know, how can our spirit be at peace? How can we not, and how can we endure this affliction of sickness, right, if we not, you know, including these herbs in our diet? So like the elders bringing out, man, make sure you're bringing these herbs out and use it for your benefit, man. It's really for your benefit. So the Most High gives us instructions. So we're supposed to take that. Go ahead, King.
Con, when you go to the supermarket or you go to the pharmacy or wherever you go, for people that buy the over-the-counter shampoos and conditioners and soaps and whatever else you use for your hygiene, when you read the ingredients on the package, how do you think they come up? Why do you think certain ingredients are there? That they don't just sit there and ramble like we're just gonna throw all this stuff together. No, somebody has to sit down and be like, this goes with this, this goes with this, this goes with this, this goes with this. That's a science. You understand what I'm saying? There's a whole science behind that. Unfortunately, Esau uses not natural products. Like when you go and you buy a thing, it could say natural berry shampoo. You go look at the back of the damn thing, berry is like 2%, and the rest of it is crap. You know what I'm saying, that they make in the lab. But the point is, there's a science behind it. So when you're using creams, shampoos, conditioners, lip balms, rubs, etc., you're dealing as a scientist. So how can somebody say science is not in the Bible? So when we read here in verse 8, when the Most High speaks about an apothecary is a scientist. You have to be. It's the same thing when you're doing juicing. All juices and you go into a health food store where they do juicing at, right? And you'll see all the different menus. This is for cold. This is for a liver cleanse. This is for a flush. This is for whatever, diabetes, so forth and so on. Somebody has to have the knowledge to know what goes with what to fight what. You see? But like I said before, and I'm going to say again, the problem with our people is right now, the majority of us, I'm going to say us because we are all guilty of it in one way or another in life. We've all done it. The majority of us wait till we get sick. And then we just want the Most High to like I said, stretch his long black arm out the sky. You're going to see the daggone Cinderella magic wand in his hand. He's going to wave it over you. You're going to get better. That's not to say that that's not possible. What Israel must understand, and this is why I say a lot of Israelites, when y'all say you're not religious, you lying. Yes, you are. The way that you think, your thought process, you're religious. The Most High don't work like that. The Most High, what a lot of Israelites don't understand, and again, this is a whole nother show, which I'm going to do, but Israel has to be ready for this, man. What Israel doesn't understand is, for the most part, the Lord does not really intervene in his creation, only sometimes. That's what makes it a miracle. That's what makes it miraculous. The Most High doesn't intervene in creation all the time. Why? Because in the beginning, when you read Genesis, the first chapter, if you read it spiritually and not religious, there's a lot of science there. The Most High set and framed certain laws in the universe from the beginning, and everything operates off of the laws the Most High created in the beginning. So the Most High does not have to intervene in his own creation. So that's why when he does, that's what makes it miraculous. The Most High made it so that if a man and woman lay down and she could conceive and have a baby, the Most High don't have to come down and wave a wand over her stomach. It's science behind it. It's simple. It's simple. The grass grows every spring. The trees sprout every spring. The animals hibernate, get up every spring. So forth and so on. The universe is operating on the laws the Most High created. But sometimes we come out of the church system and we get so spooky, we get so bugged out of our mind and religious, we don't understand the way the Most High works. The Most High does not necessarily have to. If you have diabetes, the Lord does not have to come off his throne and wave a wand over you for you to get better. You can just take herbs. Just care about your health. And really and truly, you shouldn't be waiting until you get sick to do it. Because then what happens is, and my wife said this earlier, it's 100% true. You spend many, many years making yourself sick with the decisions that we all make. And as soon as we get sick, we want the Most High to heal us like in a month. If the herbs don't work in a month, you're already saying it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Let's continue. Where was we? I think we was on, I'll read verse 8 again. Of such doth the apothecary make a confection, and of his works there is no end, right? Because there's a lot of confections the apothecary makes. We just went into that. One of them was like dealing with leprosy. And from him is peace all over the earth. Verse 9. My son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord and he will make thee whole. So of course, prayer and faith and fasting and all that stuff comes into play. It does come into play. So everything is balanced in life. Okay. So you take your herbs, you eat healthy, whatever you do, you exercise. That's another thing. That's another doctrine in Israel. Let's talk about that for a second. The scripture that says bodily exercise profited little. Who came up with that doctrine that means that you shouldn't exercise? That's what I need to know. That dude needs to be taken out and whipped with a cat of nine tails, because that is the stupidest doctrine I ever heard in my life. And whoever came up with that has no understanding. That's not what that's talking about. Bodily exercise profiting little means for a short amount of time, because at the end of the day, we all age. All of us age. You can't do the things that you did when you were younger. So that doesn't profit you nothing to go out there and look like Dagon Hercules or Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Olympia. That doesn't profit you nothing. Keeping the Most High's commandments profit you. That's what's going to save you. Not exercising, not being the best fighter, the best boxer, not having the best physique, not being able to bench press the most weight, do the most push-ups and pull-ups. That doesn't profit you nothing in the end, because you're still going to die if Christ don't come back at some point. No matter how healthy you are, every man has his day. So that doesn't profit you nothing, but that's not to say that you shouldn't do it. And I hear brothers saying, "Oh, brother, you go to the gym, that's wicked." Who told you that that was wicked?
Hey, Dan, can I say something on that?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Hey, listen, man, that's an excuse to be lazy. All right, brothers talking about, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it for you, right? It's 1 Timothy. They talk about 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 8. Right? I'm gonna read it real quick. It says, "For bodily exercise profiteth little, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise of the life that now is, and of that which is to come." So basically, the Most High is telling us not to choose physiques or physical exercise over spirituality. That's all it's talking about, right? Because a lot of brothers, like you said, like to use the scripture to say, "I don't want to exercise," but that's just their lazy side talking. They don't want to exercise, but they full of sickness. They got diabetes. They got high cholesterol. It benefits you to exercise as long as you're not taking that, right? Seeing your gains and your results, talking about, all right, this is all I got to do to get closer to the Most High. Now the scripture's talking about to choose spirituality over the bodily exercise, but physical exercise is still important to get your health right. Right, good.
Khan, that's right on point. That's exactly right. It's important to get your health right, man, because your body goes through atrophy as you age. You know, when you were young, you can be swinging on the daggone monkey bars, going upside down. You can run up a hill. You can just, you can just do it all. But after a while, remember, what I'm saying, you're not active anymore, because what are you doing? You're sitting down in an office for 8 hours or whatever type of job that you do, and you're not really exercising. You're sitting for that long. Then you're driving home sitting. Then you go home and you're sitting on the couch or laying down. So your body begins to go through atrophy and different other things because you're not really, working those muscles. You see what I'm saying? That's why when you do decide to go to the gym, you go through a certain period of being sore from exercising. Why? Because those muscles, you haven't worked them in a long time. So that's why you be sore. And then you get soreness one day, like you ain't going back to the gym no more because you're sore. No, you got to work yourself through that. You see, you can live a better quality of life by doing these things. And First Maccabees, the first chapter, when it speaks about the heathen built a place of exercise, they were exercising in there naked. That's really where the word gymnasium comes from. It was a place where the heathen, particularly the Greeks, they went there and they exercised naked. And yes, you go to some of these gyms, we all know, everybody that's been to the gym, we all know these white folks, they like to walk around the gym, and especially in the locker room, butt naked. So basically with me,
hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all know this. You know what I'm saying? And it is an abomination. It drives me crazy. You know what I'm saying? So what I usually do, man, I wait till I get home and take my shower. Like I'm not even, you know what I'm saying? I come to the gym already dressed. I'm done. I go home. I take my shower, man. I'm not even going in. I'm not going to put myself in that position, but I'm not going to deny myself the ability to go and exercise and try to keep myself, because it's the only exercise I get. Really and truly, like if we was living in the country somewhere in the islands and stuff like that, you wouldn't have to go to the gym. My wife always talks about it. Like when she go back home to Jamaica, she go out into the country area. You see the young men, 20, 25, 30 years old, man, these dudes is ripped with abs, and they don't go to no gym. They don't go to no gym. You know what I'm saying? But they out there doing natural stuff. They live off the land. They, tilling wood and going to get water and cutting down trees and planting and farming and doing all these things. They're exercising. You see? And you look at some of them, you know what I'm saying, you think that they 30 years old and they 50 because they keep themselves up. So all this stuff goes hand in hand. Diet is important. Exercise is important. Laughter is important. The scriptures speak about laughter and being cheerful. That's medicine in itself as well. And how do you keep yourself cheerful? By going through the scriptures, reading all the promises the Most High made us, and staying up, man, and keeping yourself busy in this captivity. But anyway, let's go on.
Hey, brother, can I say one thing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I just want to give an advice to everybody out there. If you're planning to join the gym, don't join like a white gym, like a New York Sports Club or none of those kind of gyms, because I used to work there, man. These white people be in your locker room literally trying to talk to you while they butt naked, right? It's off. That's where they get, like the brother was talking, that's where you get gymnasium from, because the Greeks used to do that. So the Greeks brought that spirit here in Babylon, right? And now we have, like, it's a custom in these white people gyms. It's normal for a person to walk around naked in the locker room, man. I used to, hold myself back to, punching one of these Edomites in the mouth, man. I had to hold myself back. But If you join a gym, make sure it's a hood gym. Make sure it's a rough gym. Make sure it's a gym that is in the neighborhood somewhere. You know what I'm saying? That it's not all white. That's all I gotta say about that.
The good thing about New York, I don't know really about the other states, but the good thing about New York, they have all these outside gyms and stuff in the park where they got the pull up the bar, the dip station, the sit up station and stuff like that. So here in New York, only in the winter do you really need to go to the gym. Like out here where I live, I still got to go because it's not the, but if I had parks that had the stuff they had in New York, I wouldn't even go. I wouldn't even go at all, man. If you from New York, man, this time of year, man, hit them parks, yo. For real. Right. So verse 9 again, my son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto Yahweh, and he will make thee whole. So prayer is definitely a key component, as well as doing all the things that we said before. Verse 11, give a sweet savor and memorial of fine flour, and make a fat offering as not being. Verse 12, then give place to the physician. So under the old covenant, basically what this is going into, under the old covenant, if you were sick or whatever like that, you would pray into you would take the herbs, you would pray into the Most High, you would go make a sacrifice, right? And verse 12, it says, then give place, and then you would go to the physician. For the Lord hath created him. Let him not go from thee, for thou hast need of him. So you do have need of a physician or someone, not necessarily saying, even though I'm going to say this because I've heard Patrick say this before too. There's certain, everything is about balance, right? Sometimes you have something that is so far gone that you're going to have to go to the doctor and get it taken care of. And then from that point on, you live a healthy style, like a lifestyle. Like I know people that you have cancer. They say that you have cancer in your, I know somebody from my job that she said she has cancer. I forgot what she said she had. I forgot what, I think she said she has it in her lymph nodes, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, right? So they were going to do a procedure, and she was asking me about it, and I told her, yeah, you got to do the procedure. You can't wait around for the herbs to work because you done spent years doing whatever it is that you're doing. So you need to go ahead and have that procedure, and once you're cancer-free, then you got to live a better lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? So the Bible says, don't let the physician go from you. Sometimes, even with the herbs and everything, you still got to go see a doctor. You still may have to go see a doctor. And in some situations, if your situation is that far gone, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, man. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, you know? And we all do it. Even those of us that take herbs, every now and then we take some conventional medicine over the counter. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, for instance, I tell people all the time, I grew up with asthma. And there was a time where I was chained to that daggone pump. I was chained to it. Let me tell y'all something about them asthma pumps, yo. Asthma pumps is a big business in the hood. I'm telling you. My coworker, man, my old coworker, her name is Keisha. I don't know. Well, she was my old coworker in New York. She had a daggone underground hookup, man. She was selling pumps like it was freaking crack, man. Like she was like a crack dealer. Everybody that had asthma, and you know, Negroes got asthma, was coming to her for them pumps. She had somebody in the doctor's office somewhere that was supplying her, and then she was selling them. And when I used to go to her and get my joint, listen, I used to go to her and buy 3 of them joints. You know what I'm saying? Just to have a stash. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, so I remember back in the days when I got into the whole herb thing, sometimes I really wasn't taking care of my asthma the way I was supposed to. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would fall back into bad habits of eating a lot of, you know, dairy. And dairy is a huge trigger for asthma. Huge trigger. And I would fall into that trap, you know what I'm saying, of eating dairy. And then I would catch an asthma attack, and the herbs wasn't working fast enough. So I would hit the pump. And then I would go back to eating the herbs good again for a while, then fall off the wagon again. But, you know, since for the last, I would say about maybe 3 years, about 2 or 3 years, I don't want to exaggerate, I haven't had no asthma attacks because I really just cut out that excess dairy and I just cut it out. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that because I was eating that for taste. I didn't need it. It's not even natural. You see? So sometimes when you have something, you're going to fall back on conventional medicine. But if you live a healthier lifestyle, that'll be less and less and less. All right? But don't let the doctor go from you. Don't freaking drop dead and fall out dead because you decided you wasn't going to go to the doctor, man. Don't do that. All right? Verse 13. There is a time when in their hands there is good success, right? Because there are certain times when a doctor, you can go see a doctor, whatever like that, and they can actually help you, you know, to be healed from whatever you have. Verse 14. For they shall also pray unto Yahweh that he would prosper that which they give for ease and remedy to prolong their life. So even the doctor, if they're spirit, this is talking about in ancient times. Right now, half the time you go to the daggone doctor, it's Elam or Esau or Moab. So they're praying to they damn fake God, whatever they got. You know what I'm saying? But in ancient times, even the people that were apothecary, we were all a spiritual nation. So you praying for your health, the physician is praying for your health, and he's prescribing you with herbs and medicines. That's the way it works. Okay. Where am I? Verse 14. Verse 14, for they shall also pray unto the Lord that he would prosper that which they give for ease and remedy to prolong life. Verse 15, he that sinneth before his maker, let him fall into the hands of the physician. So now Jesus, the son of Serac, said, he that sinneth before the Most High, you break the Most High's commandments, let you fall into the hands of the physician. A lot of times that happens too. There's certain ailments that people have, it's because of sin. So the Most High allows certain things to happen and ravage people. You don't know why. Sometimes you'll see somebody that they just get sick all of a sudden, come down with something. And it really wasn't because they had a bad diet or nothing like that, but the Most High just allowed that to happen to them because they wasn't right. And when they go to that physician to try to get help, the Most High don't allow them to be healed from that. Sometimes they wind up dying. You see what I'm saying? So that's just something very, very important to know. We can continue. Verse 16, my son, let tears fall down over the dead and begin to lament as if thou hast suffered great harm thyself, and then cover his body according to the custom and neglect not his burial. So it's going into something else right now, but that's pretty much it on that. Let's go up a little bit. Let's go back. I want to go to Serac 37, and I want to read the last 2 verses, if I could. Serac 37. Serac verse 37, chapter 37, verse 29. It says, be not unsatiable in any dainty thing. Dainties is like, you know what I'm saying? Another word for that you can use is like sweets, like cakes, pastries, and stuff like that. Don't be insatiable about that. Like I said, there was a time where I myself, that was my thing. Like I like sweets. I like my cookies, my cakes. I still eat that stuff, but now if I'm gonna have cookies, right, it's not gonna be Oreos with cream in the middle. It might be some like y'all might laugh, but I like the little Teddy Graham things that they have in the stores. It has like a little cinnamon type thing. It's not really a lot of carbs. I mean, not really a lot of messed up stuff inside of it. There's not a lot of sugar. There's not a lot of anything, So it's a lot more healthy than eating Oreos and Chips Ahoy and all that stuff like that. Like I try not to eat that stuff. I try to stay away from it. All right. And that's not something you should eat every day. The Most High didn't create cake and cookies to be eaten every single day. It's something that you should eat every now and then. You have a craving for whatever, you eat that. You see what I'm saying? And you should also know when you've been eating too much unhealthy things, your mind should automatically tell you, it's time for me to do a flush. Which me and my wife, we're gonna do a show on all this on Maccabees TV. We're gonna really get into this because there's a lot of things that we need to discuss. And also I'm gonna do a show on all the different herbs and oils in the Bible. Because when you talk about hyssop, when you talk about, just to give y'all some names, right? When you talk about hyssop, you talk about myrrh, you talk about cypress, frankincense, galbanum, aloe, cassia, cedar wood. What else? Myrtle, Cinca, Rose of Sharon, spikenard. You think that all those herbs in the scriptures for nothing, those oils, they're just in there randomly? Nah, each one of those things is for something. And when you read about them in the scriptures, something was going on and somebody knew that that's what they needed. So we're going to get into all of that. All right. It says, nor be too greedy upon meats. For excess of meats bringeth sickness. Why does it say the excess of meat bringeth sickness? Well, first of all, they say meats, there's too much, too much cholesterol. It builds up your cholesterol and stuff like that. But worse than that, meat sits in your system longer than anything else. It just sits there. And if you're not really going to the bathroom like that, it just sits there and rots in your stomach. And you having that 3 times. And listen, I'm a meat eater. I do eat it. But I don't eat it the way I did when I was 20 something years old. Like if I'm gonna have meat, it has to be once a day at the very minimum. And I've cut way down on red meat. Like I don't, it's like a every now and then thing. Like, you know, steak and, you know, burgers and, you know, ground beef and stuff like that. I don't eat that stuff no more. If anything, I eat a lot of chicken and turkey. That's pretty much what I eat, and some fish. And every now and then I'll have some lamb or some, you know, some every now and then. But definitely not every week, much less every other day. You can't have that. And not only is it just the meats, but sometimes the way that it's prepared. You know what I'm saying? Fried chicken, man, deep fried down in daggone flour, and you know what I'm saying, all types of unhealthy seasoning that you're using from the daggone can. I mean, not from a can, little shakers that they sell in the store. That stuff is killing our people, man. That's why we lead on every single illness on earth. We lead it. We lead on it. All right. And surfeiting will turn into choler. But by surfeiting, many have perished, but he that taketh heed prolongeth his life. Let's look up this word. Let's look up this word, surfeiting. It's basically what it says is it consume too much of something. Consuming too much of something. I like this one better than the first one. Surfeiting is consuming too much of something. All right. So by consuming too much of something, which is in this case is dainties and meats, it turns into choler. And by consuming too much of something, verse 31, many have perished. Okay. But he that taketh heed prolongeth his life. So people might think why it is that you might see so many videos on herbs and stuff being done, especially like on the Sisters of the Maccabees channel. A lot of people wonder, why is there so much of this being going? Why is there so much of this going on? And I'm gonna tell you, man, it's because you know, there's so much going on in our community. Elder Zahab, I'm gonna tell you right now. Give me 1 second. I'm going to have you check your email again. I'm going to resend it because I know you said you're trying to get on, so I'm going to resend it. Give me a second. I'm going to stop sharing my screen just for 1 second. We'll go right back to it. So Elder Zahab, I'm going to let you know when, and I'm going to send you the link again. I know I sent you a couple of them. Captain McGunn, if you want to chime in while I'm sending this. So Elder Zahab, check your email. The latest link I sent you is the link. So you can check your email and see if you can get on. Captain McGunn, you want to come in?
Yeah, you know, just the whole point of this whole video, man, is just to raise more awareness of healthiness, man. I've noticed there's a drought really on health and the topic of health in our nation, especially in our communities, right? In our communities, we have, you know, fast food, we have liquor stores, we have a whole bunch of things that's unhealthy. But you have the juice bar in the white neighborhoods, you have the good salads, right? Because right now they had a recall on the Roman lettuce, right? So right now you can imagine in our neighborhoods, in the Black and Hispanic community, we getting the worst of the worst, right? We getting the worst of the worst, meaning what? That even if we try to eat healthy, right? The book of Ezekiel says that we eating our bread defiled. So we try to get the best of the worst. Like basically, we got the worst already, but try to get the best of it. You know what I'm saying? Make good choices, make better choices.
Hey Cap, get that scripture, man. Go over that, man. Ezekiel about the about our bread defile. That's right on topic of what we're talking about. I think you
No,
should.
no doubt. Let me get it. It's Ezekiel chapter 4 and verse 13. It says, "And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them." So, that's another thing, right? A lot of brothers and sisters in the truth, out the truth, right? It's a good thing that they have a zeal of, listen, let's switch up our diet. We ain't eating no carbs, no meat, no nothing. It's a good zeal, but at the same time, everything's defiled. So you can't really sit here and say that everything you eat is clean. That's why the Most High say to pray over your food, because he can bless it, but we can't sit here and depend on our oppressor to give us the clean foods. So Ezekiel is telling us what? That we shall eat our bread defiled among the heathen, right? Because they supply our food. We shall go to our enemies in want of all things. That's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, right? Let's read on. It says, "Then said I, Lord God, behold, my soul have not been polluted, for from my youth up even till now have I not eaten of that which dieth of itself, nor in torn in pieces." Meaning he's telling you what? That Jeremiah kept the Levitical laws. He kept the dietary laws that the Most High gave to us from the beginning, right? It says, reading on, it says, "Neither came there abominable flesh into my mouth." Right. But the 13th verse is more so what I wanted to basically touch on, because we have to eat the best of the worst in society. If you can eat clean, if you can make better choices in your life, then do so. If you can choose to go to the gym in the morning and give, not even go to the gym, in your house 20 minutes before work, some push-ups, some dips, whatever you do, as long as you're keeping yourself active and you picking the right choices in terms of what you eat and keeping a clean diet, not only are you going to see results, but you're going to feel better. You're going to be more energetic. You're going to be more willing to do things. You know what I'm saying? When I eat junk food, I really don't want to do nothing. When I eat a whole bunch of cookies and cakes and a whole bunch of sweets, I feel lazy. I feel like, you know what? I'm just going to sit back and not do nothing. You don't want to feel like that, right? So when you eat better, you start to feel more energetic. You actually start to want to do more things. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the book of Ezekiel is talking about.
Now that's true, because you know what? I remember one time, since you mentioned that, I remember talking to Patrick, and I think I saw it somewhere else too, but I seem to remember him telling me about that. Like for instance, when you eat a lot of chicken, right? They say chicken has something in there called tryptophan, if I'm not mistaken. And basically that thing right there, whatever that thing is in the chicken that we eat right now, that's why when you have some you have some good, chicken, arroz con pollo, you have some good chicken or whatever like that, after that, what you want to do? You want to go sleep.
Right.
There's something in that activates, like, that just makes you tired. That's why there's a whole other science, which we're going to be doing more of these. I think there's a lot to be said about this topic. We cannot all cover it all in one night, but a lot of what people don't know, there's times a day for everything. Don't you know there's certain times a day that you should not eat fruit? There's certain times a day you should not eat fruit. And there's certain times a day you should. There's certain times a day you should eat certain foods, and there's certain times a day you should not. And after a certain time, you shouldn't be eating anything. And then you have certain organs in your body that activate at certain times of the day and night. Now, this is a science that I'm not really that versed in, but you know what I'm saying? If y'all have watched some of the videos I've done with Patrick, he's gone into all of that, saying things about like the pancreas between the hours of 3 a.m. and some other time in the morning is like activating, whatever. He goes into all that stuff. So definitely when I see him again, I want him to go back into that some more, because that's all related, man. Nobody teaches us these things. You definitely ain't gonna get into school, and you sure as hell ain't gonna get it in church, because they got the pig in the back. You know what I'm saying? They trying to, for the church fundraiser, man, they find the biggest pig they could find and slaughter that thing and bring it and eat every goodness part of the pig. They eat the ears, the nose, the hoofs, the tail. You know what I'm saying? They eat every daggone top. Hey, like y'all ever heard the saying called "from the rooter to the tutor"? If you don't know what that saying means, now you know. From the rooter to the tutor means that they eat the pig from the snout, from the ears, all the way down to the feet. Everything is utilized in that daggone pig. And the intestines and the insides is taken and broken down and used in compounds like lip balm and Vaseline and put in candies and like these gummy worms and gummy bears, and they don't leave no part. The pig is such a valuable, raising pigs in America is such a valuable and lucrative choice of farming and animal raising, because they only use but so many parts of the other animals. You raise horses, you raise cows, you raise certain types of animals. They use certain portions, but they use all of the pig from the rooter to the tutor. So that's why on their money they say in God we trust is a lie, because everything America does is contrary to God's commandments. Everything. You see? So it's important that we bring things like these out, man. And we have to support those in our community that's trying to bring us more healthy options when it comes to hygiene, hygienical care, if hygienical is a word. We have to support them. It's not just a cliche. You see sisters and brothers, and there's a lot of different people selling it. My wife sells it too. You see people selling soaps and shampoos and conditioners and lip balms, this, that, and the third. Get it. Support that. Because the lip balms are made out of beeswax. You go and buy the thing from Dwayne Reed, half of that stuff is swine. Because Esau gonna make sure that we keep the Most High's commandments, man. When you read in Psalms 2, when the Most High said about cutting our cords from us, it ain't just the Bible, but just our memory of what's right and what's wrong. You don't even, Jake, though, I'm gonna let you come in, Cap. I know you want to come in. Negroes don't question nothing, man. The white men give you something and say, put it on your face, you put it on your face. Put it on the cut, you put it, you don't even read. How many people have really sat down, you go out and you buy a tub of Vaseline. How many people have actually sat down and broke down what each ingredient in there is? Or you go and you buy a lotion or a shampoo, what each one of those ingredients is and where do they get them from? Most people have never done that. There are things on the foods that you buy in the store you can't even pronounce, but you just trust it because it's in a pretty box with a whole bunch of colors, and they spent $1 million on TV to put a commercial on for that product, so it's got to be good. Oh, and by the way, the FDA said it's good too. Can't forget about that.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead, Lord.
Nah, listen, man. And speaking of natural products, www.thelinesofisrael.com. That's where you get certain natural products. You know, we got the Sister Malika. She got a couple natural products for the sisters and the brothers, beard oil and everything. So visit www.thelinesofisrael.com and get your products, man. We're going to have a lot more products soon, but get what's in stock now. Support. Show your sister love. Show your brother love. You know what I'm saying? And you know, basically support your own people, man. We have these products. So support your own people instead of going to your enemy and supporting them. Because we actually giving you the information along with the herbs and everything. So we're not just sitting here talking. We sitting here showing you what it does and informing you. And we actually have testimonies such as myself of people that actually use the products, and if is a positive gain on the physical, okay, on the physical body. So www.thelinesofisrael.com. Go get your products, man. Support.
Khan. So Elder Zahab told me to read an article, so I'm going to show y'all this real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. Since we're talking about it, let's talk about it. I think I'm going to repeat this on Maccabees too, at least this particular article, because this is a good article. All right, family. So the name of the article, I just Googled this and it came up, and we did a show on this. I believe it was Zahab and another brother in the camp that is showing this years ago. It's called 185 Uses for a Pig, including regeneration of regenerating of human body parts. So when I told y'all before, when I said from the rooter to the tutor, that's what it means. They use the pig for everything. Watch. Let's go down and let's read some of the uses for the pig, right? I'm just going to go right down into it, man. So here's the first thing. Recently, I received 2 different kinds of soap that were made by the Amish from pig fat in the state of Kentucky. My friend Amy Sipes from the John's Custom Meats does business with the Amish and was able to get some of the fine soap that they make. It smells delicious and is just as good, if not better than regular soap. So pig soap is better than regular soap. All right. Here's another one. And this is important, Israel, because Israel loves to be on this lawful. That's lawful stuff, right? Some of the beers that you consume are made with pig. One of the most used products for pigs is gelatin. This is composed of hooves, bones, and connective tissue. A dry powder form is made from the gelatin and mixed in with beer towards the end of the brewing process. Its purpose is to remove tannins, a bitter substance found in the hulls of grains used to make beer. This can be seen as it removes the cloudy substance that is created by yeast and proteins from malt. So you have to, when you're drinking beers and stuff like that, brothers and sisters, you got to do research. Some of the beers that you buy that you like to drink are actually used, pigs are used in the brewing process. A lot of brothers don't know that, and sisters either. I told y'all before about the shampoos, okay? Fabric softeners. Some of the fabric softeners that you buy and detergents that you buy in the store, you know what I'm saying? A lot of those are made from pigs. Now, we are talking about main ingredients. When fabrics become negatively charged, they create static cling. Coating fabrics with processed pig fats, which are positively charged and cling to fabric surfaces, result in feeling soft and slippery. This allows your iron to griddle over the fabric smoothly and make it less prone to wrinkling. So they use it in a lot of these fabric softeners. Those paintbrushes are made of pig bristles. It's a big they say it's a huge global business. I told y'all they make millions off this stuff. In China, they are used to make every kind of brush imaginable: hairbrushes, coats, paint brushes, just to name a few. A special machine collects the bristles during the slaughtering of the pig. All right, let's continue. Bread. L-cysteine is a natural amino acid found in meat. It benefits our bodies by keeping our stomach linings nice and healthy. It is used in the process of bread making because it results in softer dough. Today it can also be made synthetically, but more often than not comes from pig's bristles. So the English on the site is throwing me off. But anyway, let's continue. Heparin. This anticoagulant drug comes from the mucus lining of pig's small intestines. It's used to stop blood clots from forming. So you go to a hospital with blood clots, they're going to inject you with pig. And how many Jakes do y'all think is going to actually ask the doctor, what are you putting in me? When a doctor comes and sticks that IV in your hand, you just ask them, which arm do you want? That's it. Nobody asks any questions. Let's be real. Nobody asks any questions. And they're putting this stuff inside of you. And you breaking the Most High's laws and you don't know, that's where mercy comes in. That's why that's where mercy comes in, or else we would all, that's why it says if it hadn't been for the Lord, we would have been consumed, man. Most High had to have mercy on us. Chemical weapons are made from pigs. Matches. Proteins found in pig bones are used to make an adhesive called bone glue. When combined with flammable chemicals like phosphorus, it can be used to make a strikeable friction match. Train brakes. Pig bones are incinerated and processed to the form of very fine powder of uniformly sized particles. Bone ash is added to a wide variety of products: fine china, artist paintings, polishings, compounds, and fertilizers. There is a factory in Germany that uses the power for making train brakes. That's why I said before, I know I'm keep saying it again. Yo, pigs raising is big business. There's no part of the pig that they don't use. No part. Below is a list of other fine products that are made from other parts of pigs. Safety gloves. Safety gloves. Pig. Beauty masks. Energy bars. Licorice. I told you about a lot of the candies. Chewing gum, especially bubble gum. If you could blow a bubble with the gum, chances are it has swine in it. I would chew bubble gum. I might chew like Trident, Orbits, stuff like that. The gums that you can blow bubbles with, 9 times out of 10, those are the ones that have swine in them. I learned that from when I was a 5%er. Breath mints, a lot of lollipops, marshmallows, y'all should know that. Mogut, cupcakes, especially Hostess. Them Twinkies, swine. And I'm gonna say this with all due respect, like I know we Israel and stuff like that. Elijah Muhammad had a book out in the 50s and the 60s called How to Eat to Live. I learned about that when I was a 5%er. Without throwing no shade, no hate, that's a great book. A lot of this information been out for a long time. Negroes are just waking up to this. He knew that back then. And he was telling you all the stuff that had swine in it back then. Vanilla pudding, chocolate mousse, certain types of ice cream, pet food, surgical sponges, paintballs, inkjet printer. You got an inkjet printer at home? Some of that ink in there some of it is swine. X-ray film, jigsaw puzzles, book covers, wallpaper, sandpaper, shoe leather. Some of the shoe leather that you think is shoe leather is pig. Chia figurines, Crondon tablets, insulin, pig. Heart valves. They put a heart valve in you. It's made out of a pig. You got to ask questions. That's why I know we're circling back now to where we started. That's why you want to try to stay healthy as you can, so you don't need a heart valve, if possible, if it be the Lord's will, because they might be putting a pig inside of you and you don't even know it. Cadmium batteries, injectable collagen. So you see a lot of these people in Hollywood injecting their behinds, their lips, and everything with collagen. That's pig. And bullets. Some of the bullets that the guns have in them, some of those gun bullets are made out of pig. Cell regeneration. The lining of a pig's bladder is known to possess special cell regeneration qualities and is currently being used in combination with human stem cells to regenerate actual human body parts. When a finger is cut off, the immune system naturally response is to cell death, is inflammation and scar tissue. It is believed that when extracellular matrix is applied to the wound, it stops the natural process and causes the cells to start repairing the damage like they would in a developing fetus. And then he goes on at the end of the article to say the uses for a pig may be endless. We may never know. I agree. It is. It is. That was just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more. So much more. GMS Bun Mirage, shalom to you too, bro. Shalom to everybody that's just coming on. We definitely had a good show, man. Most High blessed us. We definitely went through a lot of things. I'm sorry that y'all missed some of it, but yeah. So this is important information, and there's really nobody out there that's really, what I'm saying. Esau is not going to teach us this stuff. They're not going to tell us about this stuff. So we really have to look into this stuff for ourselves. And like I said before, we really got to get into this Bible and stop looking at the Bible as being a religious book and really get into it. The Bible is a book of laws. The Bible is a book of statutes, commandments. The Bible is our history book. And the Bible is also a book that deals with science, not science so-called, but real science. Like I said before, when you had somebody that was a leper, you had the apothecary knew exactly what oils that they had to give the priest to rub on the leper. That's a science. But somebody that hates the Bible will never get into the scriptures to really extract that. You have to extrapolate. That's a long word for Negroes. There's something called extrapolation, where you read the scriptures and you begin to extrapolate and take certain things and dig deep, deep, deep down into the levels and layers of the onion to pull it out, the information, because it's all in there. The Most High left us everything. He left us everything. So we just have to really just get back into our book, man. But I'm pretty much just about done. So I just want to say, man, what really led me to do this show today, because I talked to the Captain McGunn, and I was going to go over another topic, but he said he wanted to talk about health a little bit. So I said, you know what? This is a perfect time for me to segue into the topic that I'm going to do. Like I said, Most High will, I'm going to flesh it out a little bit more, but I'm going to go through all the different oils that are in the scriptures and their different uses, when they were used and why they were used. There's nothing in the scriptures that's in there randomly. You didn't always go and anoint somebody with olive oil, not all the time. Sometimes you anointed people with other stuff, depending on the situation, depending on what they were going through. You see what I'm saying? And that wasn't knowledge that the priests had. The apothecaries had that. Most High told Moses to tell the priest, this is what you need. And the priest would tell the apothecaries, this is what I need. And they would bring that concoction and bring it to them. And that's the way it worked. You see? So we have to get back to that now. So Cap, you want to say something?
I'll just bring out one point. Basically how the Most High even uses smell as a sense of vibration, right? Because you know when he talks about the frankincense and myrrh, you know, even the Most High has a favorite scent and a favorite smell. So what the Most High does is put a vibration on certain things. You know what I'm saying? So when you smell the frankincense and myrrh, you have a certain vibration. You know. You have like I'm in a different type of zone vibration, because when I smell it, it's like, yo, I'm with you know, I'm with brothers that's in the scriptures. This is about the Most High. When I smell it, you know what I'm saying? You can't come and, you know, defiled around that smell, right? So the Most High has a vibration from what you touch to what you smell to even what you see, even what you read and what you think, right? That's the science behind everything, right? Even the word itself, science, it just means something you can prove through observation, right? So you can prove through observation what the Most High uses these natural things for, and it has results on the people, on the vibration, on even studies on people that use the frankincense and myrrh have a better and positive vibration than those that don't. That's a study you can look up. So the Most High has a purpose for everything. Everything He made in nature has a purpose in vibration and sense and smell and sight. Right, that's why He gave you all your senses too, because everything plays a part in what the Most High's purpose is for everything in terms of nature, right? So that's what I have to say about that.
Con. I'll give you an example, and I'm not going to go into it tonight. Do you think that when Mary of Bethany, when she went to anoint Yahweh Shai, what does it say that she used? We read it all the time, especially at Passover. We read it all the time. Mary of Bethany went to anoint Yahweh Shai. She brought spikenard. How would she know to bring that? First of all, what is it for? Why, out of all the oils, why that one? You see? So these are things that are in the scripture. There's a science to this. You see, but we have to get into that. We have to extrapolate and get into the levels and the levels of the onion, like I said, and really get into that. It's very, very important. See what I'm saying? Because we as a people, we're really unhealthy and we're sick and we're dropping dead of cancer. Like I said before, for the people that's just getting on, within the last 2 weeks, I've come across 3 people that recently came to the fact that they had cancer. And one particular individual, her body is riddled with cancer basically from head to toe. And this is somebody that was going to the doctor religiously for years, getting a checkup every year, and the doctor didn't see it. You know? But I also know on the converse side, this is somebody that was not living or eating very healthy, you know, and now they're far gone into the illness. And so myself and my wife, you know, we're going to try and help the sister out, you know, to the best we can. She's going to have to make a complete sudden lifestyle change. Some of us, you know, when we get a little ill, we have the liberty to kind of ease our way into being healthy, like, you know, slowly cut certain foods out and slowly, you know, do it in a gradual fashion, you know. But she's so far gone, she can't do it gradually. She's gonna have to jump into it, and it's not easy. But if you want to live, of course, it's the Most High's will. But if you want to live, you're going to have to do that. But we don't have to wait till we get sick to do that. Living healthy is a lifestyle. Herbs is a lifestyle. We shouldn't be eating for taste only. That's okay sometimes. You have a craving for some ice cream, you have a craving for something, whatever, that's okay. But you shouldn't be eating for taste all the time. Sometimes you have to eat for health, which means you're going to have to eat stuff that's bitter, that don't taste good, that makes you want to gag and stuff like that. But the Most High has it here for a reason, man. A lot of that stuff is alkaline. It keeps your body in an alkaline state. So you have to do it. You have to also incorporate flushes often, especially if you can't control yourself what you eat. If you're somebody that knows that you don't really have the willpower to control what it is you eat, you should be doing flushes on, you know, every couple of months to have your body just eliminate all those toxins and everything out your body. And you can't be eating junk while you are flushing either. You got to take some time. And that's why I was so glad. I give all praise to the Most High that He forces Israel to fast once a year. He forces you to fast once a year. I mean, obviously we're supposed to be fasting way more than that. Yahweh Shah told us that. And that's another art that Israel done lost. Israel done lost the art of fasting and prayer, man. Israel don't do that no more. Not really. Until something goes wrong. Then we're all doing a fast. It's not supposed to be like that. You know? I'm so happy the Most High gave us the Passover every year, where Israel is forced not to eat bread with leaven for 7 days, man. The Most High is forcing you to give your bodies a little bit of rest for 7 days. And people act like they're gonna pass out because they can't have bread for 7 days. You know what that means? That means you're addicted. Because bread is not something you're supposed to eat with every meal. You're not supposed to have meat with every meal. Where's that in the scriptures? That's something Esau told us. That whole food pyramid is what Esau told us. And it's right up there with Christopher Columbus discovered America and white Jesus. It's a lie. Our body was not created to eat like that. But that's a whole nother, I could go on that all night. So with that being said, I'm gonna check the comment boards real quick, and I'm about to get out of here, Cap, unless you had anything else you want to add.
No, that's it. I'll just bring out just one scripture, and that's it. This is Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter, and the 16th verse. It says, "Be not righteous over much." Or Serac, not even Ecclesiastes, Proverbs 11th chapter, in the 1st verse. It says, "A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is His delight." So everything is balanced, like the brother's bringing out. If you're gonna have some sweets, make sure you have a balance. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm making sure, like, if I eat my sweets, it's gonna be once a week. But reality is that the healthier you start eating, the more your body rejects the sweets, the more your body rejects the other foods. So having that balance is what's gonna make, that situation better or worse. If you don't have that balance, then most likely you're gonna be ending up checking in the hospital, and they're gonna tell you got high blood pressure, you got high cholesterol, something that you don't even feel. That's another thing. Sickness or sicknesses, you don't necessarily have to feel it. It could be in your body quietly, just deteriorating and everything. And then your doctor's saying, listen, you got to slow down on this, slow down on that. Even though you don't feel it, it's still it's an internal battle. So, we have to have a balance. You have to have a balance. If you have your sweets, make sure it's once a week or something. Make sure you're not doing it every 2, 3, 4 days. You know what I'm saying? Or a week straight where you just eating straight cookies and sweets, right? Have that balance, right? So that's all I want to say.
All right. So I'm about to get out of here, but I do want to answer 2 things that I've seen on the comment boards real quick. Your wife made a very good statement on the comment boards, Captain McGunn. She said, even if you eat ice cream, you can make it yourself. And that's true. It's true. YouTube has a lot of how-tos and a lot of things. I want to just take a moment. I'm going to share my screen in a second. I want to take a moment. I'm going to come back to that statement about making your ice cream yourself. I want to answer the other question. Somebody asked on the comment boards, what can you take to flush? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, right? Real quick. I'm going to share my screen. All right, brothers and sisters. This is the channel Sisters of the Maccabees, right? Now, this is the channel for Israelite sisters, right? Mainly my wife is the main one that's been doing a lot of videos on here, but there are other sisters on here. But that's cool. What I want to do is I want to show y'all something. Y'all see what the majority of videos is here about? If you're on the comment board and you haven't subscribed to Sisters of the Maccabees, especially the brother that asked the question, come to Sisters of the Maccabees and subscribe to this channel. Why? Because they're doing a lot of great work when it comes to health, man. Look at all the topics: allergies and asthma. What's on your skin? Are you eating enough plant foods? Interview with Patrick Dells. Can you live with HIV? You know what I'm saying? What should I eat for breakfast? Okay. Just go down a little bit. Detrimental effects of nutrient deficiencies. What exactly is it to be vegan? Like you see all the topics that's on here. It's a lot of topics dealing with health and wellness. But I want to come all the way down because I'm going to show you what's on here to answer your question about the flushing. All right. You see right here, this video right here, it says Cleanse by Patrick Dells. Okay. This is the video that you want to come to. This is one of the first flushes that you want to do. Right. So I have we have this video right here. All right. And you'd be surprised how many people have taken this flush, man. They come to this channel and watch this video, not just Israelites, Muslims, Comedics, all these dudes. They come in here, they watch this video, and they're doing the flush. All right. So you definitely want to come to this channel. You want to subscribe and follow along because the sisters are really going hard with the health. And you know what? That's natural. I'm going to tell you why. It's natural because, like Patrick always says, the woman is the one that comes home and she feeds her man, and sometimes she's feeding him to kill him with all the stuff that she's giving him. You know, he come home from work, whatever like that. She take care of the house and she cook the food for her husband. And sometimes she's killing him with what she's giving him. You see what I'm saying? So it's only right that our sisters, our wives that's taking care of us, that love us, they also should be in that same capacity of trying to heal us and help us. They are our helpmeets. So the sisters are going real hard for herbs. The majority of videos on this channel is dealing with herbs, although there's other stuff. There's other stuff on here too. Some about child molestation. Nobody wants to talk about that. That's another topic. You know, it's all on here, but you definitely want to look for this one right here. You'll see the picture. It says skin, liver, intestines, kidney, whatever. You'll see this right here. And this is on the Sisters of the Maccabees page, all right? Also, if you look, Maccabees TV, which is everybody knows the channel that I pretty much run, Maccabees TV, right? If you look, we have another channel here called Healthy Hebrews Kitchen. Now, I'm going to be honest. We haven't followed up on this channel the way that we should because we just have a lot of stuff going on. But going back to what Sister Alma Warner said, at some point, we're going to pick this channel up and really be, you know, showing a lot more videos on this channel of how-tos. Because if you have a sweet tooth, if you like pastries, if you like ice cream, certain things like that, you can make it at home where it doesn't have all the crap that the one in the store buys. I mean, it's going to require you to take a little more time. Can't be lazy-minded about it. But it's out there. The information is out there. So we're putting it in an Israelite forum. The whole idea with me coming up with this whole Maccabees thing, you know, with all the different channels, is to make it so that Israelites are giving Israelites everything that you need when it comes to this stuff. I mean, you may not want to hear from somebody that's not in the world, that's not an Israelite, that doesn't know the knowledge the way we have. You may not want to hear from them. So we're trying our best to cover as many bases as we can to help the people in a multiplicity of ways. All right, so that's what that's about. So here are all the Maccabees channels. If y'all haven't subscribed to them, I really haven't been putting a lot of effort into, you know, Maccabees 2, Maccabees Music, or Healthy Hebrews Kitchen, but they're going to come up. Right now, the main two channels is Maccabees TV, which everybody knows about, and Sisters of the Maccabees. If you're into the health, it doesn't matter if you're a brother or sister. I know it says Sisters of the Maccabees, but if you are into health and wellness, this is a good channel for you to subscribe to because that's the majority of what the videos are about. That's what the majority of videos are about. And if you notice, it's even stuff on here for the sisters. Candida and vagina cleanse, erectile dysfunction. These are things that we're going through. Y'all know I got people in my inbox. Somebody inboxed me today asking me about erectile dysfunction. What could he do? That's a problem with our people. As a man, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? So we have to help our people that's going through all these things. You know? So that's pretty much it for me. So with that, brothers and sisters, you know, everybody have a blessed night. It's getting kind of late now, so I'm going to pretty much end the live stream. I'm praying everybody has a blessed night. And if you haven't already, you can reach out to us. Our phone number is 877-53-LIONS. 877-53-LIONS, or you can visit us on our website, thelionsofisrael.com. Again, that's 877-53-LIONS, or you can come to our website, thelionsofisrael.com. Most High will. We definitely will be doing a lot more videos. We have a class every Wednesday night on this channel. There'll be a class every Friday night on this channel. I'll be on Maccabees TV tomorrow. Most High will as well. So we just continue to do the work, man. We in the streets, we on the internet superhighway, we everywhere, man, doing the Lord's work, trying to hasten the day, man, when our Lord Yahweh Shah can come back and finish this place off. Because me personally, I feel like it says in the book of Job, I echo what, I mean, not Job, excuse me, the book of Jude. I echo what it says in the book of Jude. I am vexed with the conversation of the wicked, and I'm ready for the Most High to bring judgment. With that, I say peace, shalom to Israel, many blessings.